What's going on, Bottom Line viewers? It's Mitch here of the Bottom Line View, back with another WWE Smackdown live review for May the 16th, 2017. Going to give you my review, my recap, and my reactions to this episode of Smackdown Live. It's just me today. No Dilly Vanilli. He's out watching the NBA game. He's going to recap that Bore Fest, I'm sure, later on tonight, because the Warriors smacked around those Spurs like it was nothing. So he's going to recap that game. I also got to jump on an NHL recap later, but I said can't miss the Smackdown Live. Love talking to you guys. Love talking about wrestling with you guys, even when it sucks. So I had to come on here and talk about some Smackdown Live. We may or may not see Marky Mark on this episode. Cesar is not on this episode, and it specifically states in Marky Mark's contract that he doesn't make many events when Cesar is not on the show. So we'll have to see about Marky Mark. He might be here, he might be not. But I want to see what you guys think, whether Marky Mark's on here or not. I want to know what you guys think. Leave in the comments. Definitely the live comments. I'll get to all of those. Arian is in the chat. He said he wants Marky Mark, and he also says that Marky Mark and Cesar love the show. Possibly. I don't really know. I haven't been in contact with those two characters in a little bit, but we'll see. Also, if you guys are watching this on the replay, let me know in the comment section below your thoughts on SmackDown Live tonight for May 16th, 2017. So let's get into the show. The show, I thought overall, man, was pretty boring. To be quite honest with you, there was not a lot that I got into. I don't think it was terrible. I don't think it was as bad as Raw was, but it was just not exciting. I think there was a couple of things that I liked. I did, again, like the tag team division. That was kind of interesting. The fashion files we had again tonight, which I hope they continue and continue and continue, because it's one of the only things on the show that's actually doing anything for anyone's character, and I enjoy that. The Jinder Mahal stuff, I wasn't a huge fan of tonight. What else did we have? Of course, another Lana vignette. We had more Usos, which was really good. I've been asking for them, to do more promos, and that I personally like seeing the Usos do promos, so I enjoyed that part. The women's stuff we'll get into, and the main event was just really strange. So, and we also had the Dolph Ziggler, Shinsuke Nakamura stuff. So I'll talk about all that stuff, but mainly I thought the show was a little boring. It wasn't great. It was pretty bad. Typical wrestling right now. It's just a bad product. It's just bad. Like, I can't really say much else, but I'm here to review it. So let's get into the opening segment of the episode, which is Kevin Owens' highlight reel. Now, of course, because they have no other creative ideas, they have Kevin Owens come out and do a highlight reel episode. And if you know what the highlight reel is, you know that it's Chris Jericho's gig. Well, basically, they're trying to recycle something, and they're trying to have Kevin Owens do the highlight reel because, one, he's not very, entertaining by himself, so he needs a little shtick to go with. And second of all, Jericho isn't there, and Owens was the one to take him out, supposedly. So Owens is doing Jericho's highlight reel. So Owens says that the original host will never, ever be seen again playing on Chris Jericho's line. He talks about how Jericho... how he took out Jericho and how he put Jericho on the injured list. He then says that will be a sneak preview of what he does to AJ Styles. Owens then introduced his guest, and he wants to introduce him in French. Now, this is one of the things that I actually enjoy about Kevin Owens' character at the moment, is that he's been trying to speak, and they've been trying to put him out there and speak more French. I do enjoy that. Now, I'm not a huge Kevin Owens fan, as you guys know, but I do enjoy when he does do the French gimmick, because that is a part of who he is. He's from Quebec. He's a French-speaking Canadian. And if you're going to do this Canadian is the United States champion gimmick, you're going to want him to speak French, at least because he's from Quebec. Now, I'm also Canadian, but I'm from Vancouver, so I have no idea how to speak French. But he does, so it works for his character. Also, I like that they continue to have him wear a suit. Now, my only problem with him wearing a suit when he does these segments is that he still wears crappy clothing when he wrestles. He still wears, the cut-off sleeve t-shirt. He still wears a, UFC gimmick shorts. He still looks like a slob in the ring, but he looks really professional when he does promos. So I'd like to see I'd like to see something done to his in-ring, clothing or his attire in the ring to match what he wears when he does his promos. Just to me, that makes sense. So then after Owens then introduces AJ Styles, Styles comes out. He says he's bringing the title back to the old US of A. Then for some reason, Jinder Mahal comes out. I have no idea why. Jinder Mahal is involved in a feud with Randy Orton, not Kevin Owens and AJ Styles. Yes, they had a match last week, but I still have no idea why he's out here. So Jinder Mahal comes out for some reason. He starts to speak Punjabi, and that's basically all I got from it. AJ Styles then, says he's going to put on the highlight reel of AJ Styles, and it goes to commercial. So the reason why Jinder Mahal came out is because he's having a match with AJ Styles. It still made minimal sense to me because, sure, Jinder Mahal is wrestling AJ Styles, blah, 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 blah. But why does Jinder Mahal need to talk to Kevin Owens? Like he doesn't. Why is he out there? And again, like this is another feud, Kevin Owens and AJ Styles. I don't understand it because all it is I want to beat you up. It's a feud that is centered around wrestling again. It's not a feud that has a story. A story would be like Kevin Owens sleeping with AJ Styles' wife. That's a story. There is no story here. It's just, I want to beat you up because I'm a wrestler and you're a wrestler and we need to wrestle. Let's get something else here. All right. But that's every story. Like, I don't know one story on this show that's not centered around I'm a wrestler, you're a bad wrestler, I'm a good wrestler, and now I'm going to wrestle you. I don't understand that. Then we have AJ Styles versus Jinder Mahal. So who cares? Kevin Owens is on commentary for this match. I didn't really care. The only intrigue to this match was that it was the first time ever between these two. But that's really nothing. Owens then gets involved in the finish of the match very predictably, and Jinder Mahal wins the match. IDC. I don't care. Then we have a Lana vignette. I love the vignette. I love Lana. I love what they're trying to do with her at the moment through the vignettes. But like I said in that vignette rant, you can't just have a vignette that is the same week after week after week. It gets nowhere. It's like a character on a show doing the same thing every week and not advancing their character at all. So, you're going to have Lana do this. You have these vignettes. You've cut this one vignette that looks really nice and is very good. Fine. But you don't put it on every show. Like, in my opinion, you should have a Lana vignette that is different every single week so that the fans learn more about this new Lana character every single week. So the first week, we should have learned that she was a dancer. She's going to wear this nice, she's going to have this new look. And then maybe week 2, we should have learned something else about her. Maybe the background of why she became a dancer, what is she going to do in the WWE, something like that. But we've never learned that. All we've learned is, of course, Lana before with Rusev. And now the new Lana we've learned is that she loves to dance. But we don't know anything else about her. So that's my problem with the vignette so far. And before we get to the fashion files, which I thought, again, was the best part of the show, let's get into the comments. So we have Arian and Clark in the chat. Arian says, bro, in all honesty, the show sucked. Matches were so long. We got pointless segments. The only good part about the show is Fashion Files and the Usos. I probably agree with that. Arian says the product is so bad. Yeah, I think I was telling this to Dylan off air, and I don't know if Dylan really thinks this or not, but I was saying to Dylan, this is the worst WWE product I've ever seen in my entire life. So, and I've been alive since 96. So this is the worst product I've ever seen since I was born. Now, he brought up the year 1995, which, of course, I wasn't alive for, but I've seen matches. I haven't seen entirety of shows. I've only learned and seen the ratings and learned how bad it was. But in 1995, I still think it was better. From not having lived 1995, I would just look at it and say, okay, well, we still had Shawn Michaels. We still had Bret Hart. We still had Diesel. We still had Razor Ramon. We still had good wrestlers. Like today, do we have those guys? I don't think so. Like I think today's wrestling is a lot worse than 1995. And at least guys back then looked like wrestlers, and at least they tried to do storylines, even though they were very childish. They tried. Okay. Clark says it was disappointing, just the Spurs and Warriors game. Arian comments on some of the wrestlers that don't belong on his television. What else? Clark says WWE equals these nuts. Pathetic. Arian says, if I was a booker, I would make the AJ Styles versus Jinder Mahal match for the main event spot on the pay-per-view. A match for the main event spot on the pay-per-view so that someone cares about a 10-minute match. Oh, okay. So like if AJ Styles would win, then he would face Randy Orton. Is that what you're saying? Okay, yeah, I understand what you're saying. Also, Jinder is going to lose at Backlash. I see the sign of it. I'm afraid that Lana is going to be a disappointment like Emelina. Terrible booking. I think Lana is a lot more talented than Emma, and I think a lot more people actually give a crap about Lana. So I'm going to hold my hope out for Lana. I thought Emelina was going to fail because I'm not a fan of Emma. Like, I think Emma actually, you know, first off, she's more attractive as Emma than as whatever the hell her character is right now. Like, if you actually looked at her Instagram pictures, she's more attractive as just Emma herself than, like, whatever wrestling thing she has going on right now. And also, like, I don't find her very, like, good in the ring. I don't find her good on the mic. So, at least Lana, she's very charismatic. She's great on the mic, and she looks great, and she's a similar character already, adding the dancing element. But I want to know, my complaint is I want to know more about Lana. I want to know, you know, she's a dancer. I get it. But what else is she? So that's kind of what I'm going along the lines of. Then we have Fashion Files, which is, again, my favorite segment of the night. I like how they extended on this. See, this is what I'm talking about with the vignette with Lana. They didn't extend on the vignette with Lana, but they actually extended on the Fashion Files. They did something totally different from week 2 and week 1. So I really like that. So in the Fashion Files, I really liked the actual writing for this segment. Whoever wrote the Fashion Files, I thought did a really good job. Because I noted a lot of the lines that I thought were very creative and actually kind of funny. So actually, I thought Fandango was awesome in this. He was actually really good. So he said, I'm up to my ears in fashion felonies and apparel atrocities. That was the opening line. Then, you know, I just love the background setup of how they have the Usos picture, and they have the Backlash poster. They have, like, it looks kind of like a police office, and then you have like all the sticky notes and stuff. I really like that. It's just a nice setup, I think, that they have going on there. Then Tyler Breeze comes in as the master of disguise, dressed up as a janitor. And it's funny how Fandango doesn't recognize that that is him, and he starts ripping him apart. Then they bring out like these wrestlers that have terrible like fashion habits. So they have a bag of clothing like that they're going to go over and you know, look for clues and evidence. They have a Baron Corbin bunch of T-shirts, and it's a wolf on every one of them. Then they have the Sami Zayn shorts. I thought those were both pretty funny overall. And then the best part was when they did they had this sweater, and they were like, day 1 is H. Day 1 is H. What is day 1 is H? I actually thought that was pretty funny. So then again, another good part of it was Tyler Breeze saying the Usos, they are good. They're scary. And this was my favorite line of the whole thing. Their hair is so well conditioned. I just thought that's like what exactly Tyler Breeze and Fandango would say. Like, their characters are like, man, those guys' hair is like perfect. I wish I had hair like that. Like, I just think that's awesome. And then they're like, yeah, we don't stand a chance. And then Fandango snaps him out of it. He's like, you're Prince Pretty. You're the prettiest of the princes. And then they're like, yeah, we're going to, in Versace's name am I thinking? And yeah, then they do the freeze frame at the end. I just thought this was great. This might have been the best one they've done so far. I thought the writing was really good. Like the Versace, you know, the fact that he's named Prince Pretty, the freeze frame, you know, the day 1 is H line. The hair is well conditioned. The master of disguise, the fashion felonies, the apparel atrocities. I really like this writing in this segment. I thought it was very good. So then we have a Randy Orton interview. But before the Randy Orton interview, I want to know what you guys think about the fashion files, because that's my favorite part. Rick Rude says, if you pipe down, I'll show you what a real sexy man looks like. What's going on, Rick Rude? I saw that you commented on my other video saying that you're the greatest heel ever. And I wouldn't doubt that. I think you're up there, Rick Rude. Arian says, it's all McMahon's fault. He's exposing the shitty wrestlers who have zero charisma, no character, and he's accepting and giving permission to them to be on TV. Why is Wade Barrett unemployed? Does Wade Barrett even wrestle anymore? Like, is anybody even like caught up with Wade Barrett? Is he doing movies or like stunts, or like what is he doing right now? Why is Rusev and Lana not on TV? Rusev is injured and he's currently watching the Predators game, and also Lana is just doing her vignettes. They're reintroducing her character. Why isn't Bray main eventing pay-per-views? Because they don't know how to. I don't know. Because they don't realize his talent, and then when they do, put him in the main event, they don't capitalize on it. So, Mitch, it's been like 20 minutes. Where are you at? What are you talking about, Arian? They don't care about the tag team division on SmackDown. Yeah, I think that the tag team division actually has been the best thing in the past 3 weeks. If you've been watching SmackDown consistently, I think they've been giving them more time to speak and putting more effort into it. I think they've been hearing the, people's thoughts about the tag team division and how they give no craps about it. But I think they have actually worked on it a little bit, and they're at least trying. It's better than Raw's. It's definitely better than Raw's, because the Hardy Boys do nothing. Sheamus and Cesaro, they're fighting over a handshake. Like, that's actually what they're fighting over. Then we have a Randy Orton interview. Orton talks about Mahal and how people don't like Jinder, and the reason why people don't like Jinder is because he's an ass. All right, cool. Then we have Breeze Dango versus the Colognes. So Fandango wins with the Falcon Arrow. Then the Usos come out and cut another fantastic promo. The Usos come out and they say, look at him, Us. Check him out. Do they do it for the retweets? Do they do it for the gram? We do it for this. Holding up the title. We do it for the day one-ish. And then they talk about the role play of them being cops and robbers. Them being, what was it, like knights and something else. Yeah, so they're going over like role plays of good and bad guys. And then they say, welcome to the Uso Penitentiary. Us, read them their rights. And then they say they're taking Breeze Dango to trial. You have the right. We have the right to remain vicious. We have the right to leave you with stitches. We are going to put you in a gurney. And then at the end, of course, they do their line. They're feeling goosebumps down their spine. It's not paranoia. It's the Usos. I love the Usos, man. The Usos are by far my favorite part on SmackDown. I know I said that I like the Fashion Files a lot, but just as a singular talent right now, I love the Usos, and I know that they're a team, but a singular talent, this team right now is killing every single thing that they do. The Usos is my favorite part in every segment that they perform, whether it's a match or a promo. The Usos are killing it right now, especially with this new gimmick that they have been going. And as long as they continue these type of promos, they're going to continue to kill it, and people are going to love them even more and even more and even more. Now, I do really like what they're doing with Breeze Dango, but I got to say that the Usos are my favorite part right now. Then we have, so basically Breeze Dango and the Usos are my favorite part on SmackDown. That's kind of sad. That's pretty savage, if you ask me. Then we have Shane McMahon doing a promo, and basically, again, they use Shane McMahon to introduce the women. So the women are going to have a contract signing. Oh, yippee-ki-yay. I've never seen one of these before. Can we be a little bit more creative, people? So basically, Shane McMahon talks about the great women's division that they have on SmackDown. Then he introduces the team of Natalya, what's her name? Tamina and Carmella. And, of course, James Ellsworth. Then Natalya comes out, and then he introduces Becky, Naomi, and Charlotte. And then Natalya speaks, and it was the worst acting I've seen this week in any show. It was absolutely dreadful. I wanted to rip my ear sockets out. Like, my eardrums were just on fire from hearing what she had to say. Like, it was the worst acting I've ever seen. Then we have Becky talk about it being even numbers. Then Naomi says the royal glow and fire are going to snatch you bald because she's black, and that's what black people say, apparently. That's literally her gimmick. Come on, that's her gimmick. Then we have Ellsworth, who is the best part of the segment. Yes, James Ellsworth was the best part of this segment. James Ellsworth says, Becky, I got to throw water on that straight fire. And then he's like, to quote your dad, Shane, you got no chance in hell with me. And then he says, a queen, referring to Charlotte, that sees me as a probable king. He says, no chance in hell to that. And then Naomi, I want to get straight to the point. Carmella is going to steal your glow and take your title. Duh. So now I usually hate Ellsworth, but this was the best thing he's done in weeks. Probably years. I mean, this was the best thing he's done. I like that he actually did something for Carmella. Because Carmella, to me, is getting over by herself. Ellsworth has really done nothing for her except for help her win matches, which you don't need to have anyone help win matches because it's a fake wrestling match and it's scripted. So you just could script Carmella to win the match instead of having Ellsworth disqualify and basically, help her win the match. But anyways, Ellsworth actually did something here. And I like that he's starting to have a feud with every other woman on the roster, not including that team. So it makes it a little bit more intriguing to why he's there. Then we have Naomi versus Carmella. Tamina and Natalya are booted out of the ring. This match was too long. As was Jinder Mahal and AJ Styles. My God, that match was way too long. And then we had basically Charlotte and Becky attack the other two. Carmella got a roll-up win on Naomi. Who gives a freaking crap? But what I do see here is that Carmella is going to be the next challenger for Naomi's title. That's what I see going because Charlotte had her chance. She didn't win. Naomi won. Carmella got the victory over Naomi, and they're kind of building something between Ellsworth and everybody on the roster. So I see it being Carmella and Naomi. The way that it went tonight, it definitely seems like it's going that direction. Arian says, I told Dylan that they deserved a push a while back. Arian says, why is Carmella overshadowed by fucking Natalya and Ellsworth? I said last week Carmella should be the lead dog of that group. I think she should be the voice of that group. Clark says, women's division is boring on both shows. If I was a booker, I would let the welcome committee win, and after the match, I would turn Becky Lynch heel and attack Charlotte and Naomi. Maybe. Yeah, Becky does need a change in character, and they already changed Charlotte face, semi-face. So it would be interesting. I mean, but to be honest with WWE, probably what they're going to do is have their three big women of the roster, Becky, Charlotte, and Naomi win the match, and that's going to be the end of it, pretty much. But we'll see. We'll see. Then we have a New Day vignette. Same thing again. I'd like to know, when a New Day coming? Why are they having these vignettes and why aren't they on the show right now? Like, I don't understand. Then we have a Dolph Ziggler promo, which was probably the second best part of the night. Ziggler says that he's done his homework and research on Shinsuke Nakamura. He's looked at all the remarkable things that Nakamura has done here in the WWE. And then he shows a video, and the video says the footage is not found because he has done nothing in the WWE. He hasn't done anything. And that's why I think his hype from the marks is insane. I mean, like, these guys think he's like The Rock. I swear to God. So it's pretty nuts. But anyways, they show a Dolph Ziggler video package of what he's done in the WWE. I thought this was very well done. Again, WWE puts together good video packages. And he says at Backlash, he's going to spit in the face of all the hypocrites who turned his back on Ziggler and by beating Nakamura before it even begins. So basically what is going to happen at Backlash is that Nakamura wins without doing really anything on SmackDown. Now, they had a couple of promos, but I thought they were awful. That's just my personal opinion. But I think Ziggler has totally 100% been carrying Shinsuke Nakamura. Then we have Sami Zayn and a Sami Zayn announcement, which also means a Sami Zayn interview. And basically, Zayn's announcement is that apparently Baron Corbin is afraid of him. Baron Corbin is afraid of Sami, the cab driver, Zayn. Think about that for a second. Okay. Then we have Baron Corbin versus Randy Orton. Why? Why do we have Baron Corbin versus Randy Orton? Why is this happening? Corbin dominates the match, but of course, Randy Orton wins with the RKO. Jinder Mahal comes out. He says, I'm going to destroy your pride at Backlash, your body, and your future. The Singh brothers then attack Randy Orton. Randy Orton throws them out of the ring, tries to do the double DDT to them. Mahal and the brothers beat down Orton in the ring, get that heel heat, and then raise the title. Very basic, very wrestling, we've seen it before, but it was okay, and it was a decent finish to the show. I just overall thought the show was terrible. There was two things that was entertaining on the entire show: the Dolph Ziggler video package / promo, and the Fashion Files and Usos. That was it. The rest is totally skippable and worthless, and didn't get me any more intrigued for the pay-per-view itself. This is a go-home show. You're supposed to be intrigued in Backlash. I am not excited for one match, maybe outside of the tag team titles. But that's about it. So SmackDown is really slacking. It's been bad for the last while. Raw is awful, of course. And they lost Braun Strowman. So this is the worst WWE product I've ever seen. I don't know about you guys. Is it the worst product? I think it is. Arian says, Becky is fine as a face. She's generally likable. I would have Carmella and Becky feud. I don't like Charles Flair, even though she's a great athlete. She has zero charisma. She's garbage on the mic, and she's not the best looking woman in the world. Now, Arian, my problem with that is I don't really feel like there's many women that are better than her. There aren't many women on the mic that I would say are good. You could probably limit that list to Alexa and Carmella, and that's it, really. You could stretch it and maybe say Sasha, but that's it. And for the women that are good in the ring, I think Charlotte is probably the best. So it's hard to say that Charlotte isn't one of the best on the roster, at least in my opinion. Clark says, I know Arian, but Becky needs a change in attitude as a heel. She would be better for it and take more seriously. I think that Becky just needs something to freshen her up. Obviously, they do her no good by doing anything for her, but whatever, All right. That's pretty much it for the SmackDown Live review for May the 16th, 2017. Again, not much to talk about, guys. I extended as much as I could, as much as I possibly could. But this show was garbage. There was nothing that really happened. And me even spending 30 minutes on it was overboard. So I hope I went over all your questions that you had, all the comments you had, and also all the things that needed to be covered on this review. I will be reviewing Backlash this week. At least I believe it's this Sunday. And I think Dylan will be on there, maybe Kev as well. We'll see what happens. I'm not really looking forward to it, but I'll do a review for it. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you did enjoy. If you did and you're new, subscribe to the channel for more WWE. I keep it real here on the Bottom Line View. I tell you how it is. If it's bad, it's bad. If it's good, it's good. Also, like the video and tune in to more of the Bottom Line View stuff. Thank you guys. It's Mitch. Peace out.